Hello again from Blues Domino. Tonight we've got a Fender Bassbreaker 45 all-tube combo amp. This is their amp that's based on the 59 Bassman, and it has a couple of the new meets old meets new generational features. Kind of has a new look that, I don't know, some people might not really dig, but at the same rate it's something fresh and new, so you got to give it a try. Tonight I've been playing it with my Fender Stratocaster, my Made in Mexico Strat from '96. Figured it was kind of good to give that a little try. So a couple of things true to the 59 Bassman circuitry. We've got a normal and bright selection, and they also have the both input, so you can go ahead and jumper those. So we've got normal volume and bright volume, as well as the output. That's something unique to this amp. Each amp in the series kind of has their own little special feature. This one is the attenuator that's built to do a 1 to 45 watt. I think right here we're playing somewhere in a 5 to, I don't know how many watts that would be in there, but anyhow, so you've got your treble, bass, middle, and presence adjustment, as well as your standby. So right now we're in standby mode, and it's one thing I like about this amp compared to my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe and my Fender Blues Junior is, of course, Blues Junior doesn't have a standby mode at all, and the Hot Rod Deluxe, it seems like when you put it in standby you still get a little bit of amp hiss. This one is pretty quiet. One thing that this is billed as being is Fender Bassbreaker based on the 59 Bassman circuitry, but then also taken and doing what Marshall did, take this amp chassis and boost it up a little bit with a couple of EL34 power tubes. So we get that kind of Marshall Bluesbreaker meets Fender, Bassman. So that's kind of the whole gist of this amp. I want to let you know it's very touch sensitive. It is a beast. It's got all kinds of power, all kinds of headroom. I'm used to playing the Hot Rod Deluxe and the Blues Junior with a little bit of reverb. This unit doesn't have reverb, so I might add a reverb pedal on down the road, but right now I don't care. This thing is a very versatile amp. It's got a lot of potential for blues, for rock, for alt rock, pretty much anything and everything I think you could throw at this, you'll be able to do. So I'm going to continue to do a variety of different reviews of this amp, but so far I just wanted to give you a heads up that there's not a whole lot of reviews on this amp yet. I don't know if it's because they're not out in full force yet or what the story is, but if you haven't had a chance, you need to go check this amp out. And I also wanted to give a special shout out. I'm from Billings, Montana, in our local music store there, Hanson Music. Art and the guys down there just do a great job. When at all possible, go ahead and shop local. We've got to try to keep our business with our local music stores, which support all of our musicians, and I think it's a nice thing to give them a shout out. So okay, so touch sensitivity has a lot to do with how hard you pick, and the beautiful thing about this Bassbreaker amp is the fact that it's very versatile. So you get the beauty of being able to do a little finger picking, then mix it up with a pick. Without adjusting any effects, any levels, any volume, anything, just with the touch of your hand, you're really getting that extra little bit of juicy tone that you might want to impart, and that's another thing that this amp is really good at. So I guess what I'm trying to say is y'all just need to get out and try this amp. I think it's a really good value. I don't know if you've priced out a Marshall Bluesbreaker, and that thing hand wired is just super spendy. This gives you a lot of the same tonality and benefits of that. It also kind of combines that good old classic 59 Bassman. I know most of those are in a 410 chassis. This is a 212. I actually kind of like the 212 chassis. It's another thing that's really beneficial about this amp. The versatility of going from 1 to 45 watts gives you the power that you need for bedroom practice, so you don't kill your neighbors or your ears. And then you also have the possibility of taking this thing out gigging and just blowing people away, because it's got the headroom and the power that you need for that. The other beautiful thing about it is that it's manageable. If you've all tried to pick up a Fender Twin, forget about it. I mean, you got to be a champion weightlifter to get one of those things. You're going to throw your back out. With this thing, definitely a lot more manageable. So again, just hats off to Fender for bringing this out. Hope it catches on in popularity. I think it's a very versatile amp, and should be something that is in every guitarist's arsenal. So that's my 2 cents. And again, from Blues Domino, keep in touch, and hope you enjoy it.